what is the downtown project? Tell me.
I think it's a joke.
But I mean, explain to me, what is it?
You walk around with a little fanny pack and you go and you help people. That's fine. I agree. Hey, excuse me, sir, ma'am, them,
But
they.
what was it created to? Like, get into like what was it for? What is it about?
Honestly, I don't know why it was created, but I think from what I was told is that because of the defund the police can't really do anything. So they hired.
It was to supplement.
I think so. So what we would do is we would go around, because if somebody's dying on a sidewalk, the police might not be able to show up quick enough. So people would call us and we would try to respond fast enough. Like I said, it's hard to describe because.
Who started it?
Honestly, I have no idea who started it. Who started the downtown?
Because what I know of it, it seems like this citizen patrol thing.
It kind of was. I think there's actually like a part of the city that's in an office building. They call them the downtown partnership.
Okay.
So they contract, if I'm correct on this, they contract out these other people to patrol downtown Bellingham in different sections or districts. So from like Railroad to the fish hatchery would be zone 1. Railroad clear up to Lakeway zone 2. And then Magnolia clear out to Bellingham High School would be like zone 3. So we would all switch out. But, if we would get dispatched to, hey, somebody's sleeping in front of my door, can you move them along? We'll call the cops. Well, the cops can't do anything. So we would have to go there and literally tell them to move. So it's
wait.
Like wannabe
so the cops
security
can't do anything.
Yeah.
But you just whatever you
Random Joe that's wearing a
part of
stupid blue coat.
That's part of a project.
Yeah.
To do what the police can't do is going to have an effect.
Because we were non-offensive.
Oh, who came up with that brilliant idea?
I don't know. But when I run for governor, I'm changing the nickname of the Evergreen State to the Don't Offend Me State.
Oh, fuck.
That's good. Yeah. And here it goes back to the minority ruling the majority again. So let's continue on this. So what kind of qualifications did they require you to have, if any?
Oh, God.
I honestly don't know what qualifications, but I know I was overqualified.
How so?
Because of my extensive background in the security field.
Right, because you're a security guard, right? Or you security operations?
I've done loss prevention. I've done security patrol. I've had supervisors back in Montana.
So they think, okay,
that
great.
were SWAT supervisors.
We don't want cops, but we got a security guy. He's going to be perfect.
Yeah. So when all hell breaks loose, guess who they called? Me.
Really?
The well-dressed target.
So what kind?
The only thing I was missing was probably a tie.
So what kinds of things did you experience doing the downtown project?
My first day was literally the eye opener of what the hell was going on downtown. I never felt so dirty in my entire life.
Really?
There's an alley between like Railroad. What's the name of that old magazine shop? It's like a smoke shop now.
Oh, are you talking about down on Holly or Magnolia?
Magnolia.
Yeah,
Holly,
Magnolia.
somewhere. Yeah. Railroad.
Right next to the record store.
Yeah, like across the street.
Yeah.
But you walk through that alley, there's shit and you can smell it and fentanyl. I had to go home and I had to shower for like an hour and I couldn't get that smell out of my nose.
Just picture James. He's in the corner crying. Oh, God. Give me some more soap. I'm offended. Leave me alone. So was this like your first day,
That was my first day. But when I finally got a feel for it, I did what I had to do, which what can you do? You're making, I think I was making like $18 an hour.
Wow.
To literally walk maybe 10 miles a day to wait for somebody to call me and say, hey, you need to go over to Jalapenos Mexican restaurant because there's a guy overdosing.
So how long did you work for this project?
February 6th to I think March 6th.
A little over a month.
Give or take, yeah.
Okay. And what happened? What did you end up leaving?
Well, I go into work and I actually did enjoy it. You know, I met some of the people that I actually knew from back in the day.
When you were homeless?
Yes.
Still homeless?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then some I met and I'm like, you look familiar. I'm horrible with names, but I'm good with faces. So I'm like, you look familiar.
Aren't you Bo? Sorry, that was a bad dad joke.
But, you know.
I'll drink to that.
Just seeing some of these people, I'm like, I know you, but what's your name? And then finally, when they tell me their name, I'm like, do you remember me? And then I tell my name, and they're like, holy shit.
How'd that make you feel?
I mean, the people that actually bettered their lives, it made me feel great because I know I bettered my life. But the people that I've known for so long that are still on the streets, it's like, okay, I know them. I can't put a name to the face, but I'll still talk to them. And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm still out here. Now I'm addicted to this, addicted to that, addicted to this. And then once I finally realize my name and it finally clicks, because I got to say, hey, we did this, we did that, we've gone here. And they're just like, holy shit, you're doing so much better. Yeah, I worked my ass off for it.
So you're walking around, you're getting dispatched, right? Is that how it kind of works? What's your day look like? So you come into work, you have like a team meeting or anything, or is there like, hey, we've had some recent activity in this area, we're gonna go check it out, kind of like cops do, or like what did a day look like?
Pretty much, we would have like a briefing or whatever and say, hey, this happened last night while all of us weren't here. This business got broken into. We need to just kind of walk by. At 5:00, this business called. They've got 15 homeless people laying outside their business. We need to try to move them along. And what's funny is you can walk over to Target, for example. You got 20 people laying out. Hey, excuse me, sir, ma'am, guys, you guys need to leave. It doesn't matter if it takes them 5 minutes to leave or 12 hours to leave. We have to stand there.
I was going to say, what are some of the responses?
Maybe they just go fuck yourself. You're not the cops. You can't do anything.
The cops can't do anything either.
I challenge that.
Because
yeah, right. I know. Well, it's not that the cops can't do anything; it's they're told not to.
You know, the response team needs a response team.
Need a giant boot in asses.
Yeah.
The way I see it is, we were a glorified hall monitor.
That's a good way. Yeah, that sounds about like what you're describing.
If you can't do it, it's like a babysitter.
So what's one of your...
You're watching a bunch of kids, but you can't discipline them.
So our tax dollars are paying. By the way, are you guys armed at all? Or can you be armed?
No, because it's offensive. We cannot do anything to look like cops. They actually had radios that are instant. So if you're dying and stabbed in an alleyway, you could push a button and hopefully somebody shows up. They changed that because they supposedly look too much like police. So they gave us cell phones. So I always start asking questions.
Why don't they just put like a priest's tie, clergy thing on you? I mean, you might as well just go out and just... You know, I mean, they don't want you to look offensive. They don't want you to look authoritative. But yet go out and be authoritative.
And see, this is what the problem is this is a good idea, having somebody that can respond that's not police. But now they have twisted it into a point that it's ineffective and nothing but a joke. Because like, oh, I'm sorry I offended somebody because I carried a radio. Yeah, no, you can kiss my
because
ass.
we look like cops.
Yeah, exactly. No,
For like, what kind of woke tard came up with this? I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. Like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Let's get rid of the cops. Let's get rid of the cops.
all right.
And let's have average unarmed citizens go out there and deal with fentanyl addicts, people who are having a freaking mental rage breakdown, throwing rocks through windows. Let's, I mean, at what point did you call the cops?
Overdose.
What are the cops going to do? Put a toe tag on them? You need the
Pretty
medics.
much.
You need the medics for that.
But we carried like 3 or 4 things in Narcan.
Oh.
3 or 4, that's it? Are you kidding me? I've used 3 on one person.
Oh, so you carried Narcan. This is all new to me. This is interesting.
I never knew what Narcan was until I started doing the downtown thing. And I'm not going to get into it, but the
oh no, that's why we're here.
I got 4 in my console right now, and I have stock in the truck. Okay.
How do you get Narcan? Can you just
you can buy it.
You can go to a pharmacy and get it.
Yeah,
but I think you got to have a prescription, right?
No, you don't have to have a prescription, but it's like $50 a damn.
So wait, let's go back to what I said a few minutes back.
It's free.
Let's legalize drugs, and then it won't be a problem because now it's legal, right?
No, boy, go to East Hastings Street.
And when people overdose, well, we'll just give them Narcan. Who the hell thinks this is okay?
Okay, so here's the deal. The whole legalized drugs, they can put whatever pretty face they want on it, but that's their way of trying to eliminate the problem by letting people kill themselves. That's it. Like,
I think it's weeding out the weed.
I would disagree with that. I mean, it's population control.
You want to know what legalizing drugs looks like? Go to East Hastings Street in Vancouver in Canada.
Yeah, I've heard about that. This is why when you have leadership that has no common sense or morality, it's all emotion. Oh, well, let them eat cake.
If you take away people's rights, who are you going to vote for? The people that take away your rights or give you more rights?
Right. Well,
I think it's a control thing.
Man, I never thought of it that way.
If we can buy these people's votes,
we're not going to put you in jail.
Allowing them to steal $1,000 of goods at Target and not criminalize them, but yet the Republicans want to drop the felony down to $10.
The Republicans want to put you in jail. They hate you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
It's like, let's buy these people's votes.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think America is too smart to start voting Democrat.
Man.
So, hey, let's have all these illegal aliens come over. Let's allow them to vote.
You just
can buy their
touched
vote.
into the mental derangement of much of the leadership of the left.
That's
and I'm not talking about
psychology.
I'm not talking about the middle Democrat, who maybe is starting to wake up. I'm talking about let's legalize drugs because then we won't have as high. In fact, I had somebody. This is the argument of the left all the time, and I've seen this on the Facebook with lots of people from Little Sammy Joe and whatever. Oh well, crime is higher in red states. No. The conviction rate is higher because there's more laws against crimes, unlike Washington and Oregon and California, where you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And they don't prosecute you. They let you out of jail. You want to shit in the street? That's fine. You want to be illegal? That's fine.
You go to Montana and break into our house, we'll just damn right shoot you.
Right.
Here it's like, oh my God, I better just let him take my TV because I don't want to offend him.
I'll create a safe space on your way out. Yeah.
Let me sweep it and vacuum it so you don't leave any DNA behind.
And we have to be nice. We have to be nice. Okay, this has nothing to do with being nice. It's insane. We can poop on the streets. You don't get busted. You can steal anything under $1,000. You're not going to get prosecuted. You can do drugs if you want. No problem. We'll give you Narcan. Let's just destroy society and then blame the Republicans for it.
So we actually have a few comments right now. One person says that they were lived on G Street 20 years ago, moved due to homelessness, sleeping on the road and their back porch. However, they did have an option to work. Where did the ready laborers go? I grew up in a shelter and emancipated at 15 and watched the drugs and homelessness grow and grow. My family's unfortunate addicts. They don't want to be living the way that they are, but that's all they know. Resources are needed, work opportunities are needed, and law enforcement need to be allowed to do their jobs. I cannot agree more. Now that I've actually been working with these people, it's like I have found a very large list of people who are willing to change their lives. And cool, I can get them a detox, but guess what? Then they get out of detox 7 days later, they have nowhere to go.
Right, because there's no program set up to help them succeed afterwards.
Exactly, and that's really what we need is a program that
No. We're too busy spending money on the downtown project.
Yeah,
having people walking around being cops that don't look like cops,
or the 22 North that is the best drug den in the state.
I avoided that place like the plague.
Man, I was at a city council meeting where they were asking for more funding, and they said that it was the 5th time that they showed up as their contract was expiring to ask for another $300,000 just for last year.
Did you know there was a murder at 22 North?
There have been 3 murders. One person was even set on fire in the alleyway.
I didn't know. Yeah. All I knew was a lady got shot in the face or something.
There have been 3 murders at 22 North that I personally know about. And the thing about it is the city council told him, he goes, okay, we're going to give you funding, but here's the deal. We're not going to do it again until you give us an update about how this is going. And they go, yes, we'll give you an update. And next time they wait until literally the 9th hour, they don't show up to the council meeting. They send a request, say, we can't show up. We don't have time. We need $300,000. And Ben Ellenboss was cool enough to just go,
Ben's a rock star.
Okay, Ben's a rock star. I love Ben. But he goes, how long are we going to keep letting them get away with this when we have told them now 5 times they will not continue funding if they don't show up and tell us things are better?
Well, there is.
Do you realize the city council
can't do
a random walkthrough?
I know some people involved. Some newer people involved in 22 North. I can't say names right now.
What exactly is 22 North? Is it like an apartment complex?
It's an apartment complex where homeless people can get a free apartment, and there's like a check at the bottom, but they're supposed to have requirements that they fulfill to be able to live there. They're not living up to them. They're not doing anything but selling drugs and just living for free. And several of the city council members actually showed up and said, hey, I want to do a walkthrough today. And they said, no, we can't, not without an appointment. And I'm city council. They said, doesn't matter. You're not allowed to walk in the building. Oh, really? The person who's giving you your money to fund your project isn't allowed to walk through the building. Unannounced.
There's some weird there's a lot. In fact, I know somebody who's involved who's just started working with them that's kind of cleaning it up. And I'd be interesting to hear of this person. Where it's at now.
I can get in anywhere
because they know it's a problem.
Truth.
Yeah,
like I want to go do an unrestricted walk.
But what this goes back to is, again, it's the problem of you're not regenerating, rehabilitating, restoring people. You're just letting them have what they want.
Enabling.
That's the actual
You're enabling
fact.
Exactly. That's the left. Let's enable them. And from open borders, we're a sanctuary city. It's a federal law to be here illegally. Okay.
The Democrats, in my opinion, want to teach people how to run before they learn to walk.
Well, okay.
They want to just give them a training wheels and a bike when they haven't even ridden one yet. And here. Go ahead and kill yourself.
So if we're going to talk about both sides, here's the deal. A lot of conservatives don't want to help at all. They're just like, fuck them. They're like a lot. I'm not saying that. No. I'm not saying everyone.
Yeah.
And then a lot of Democrats at the same time are like, give them everything that I have for free that I have worked so hard for. Neither of those are good options.
There's Democrats that do the same thing. Don't care about them. There's limousine liberals, I call them.
Oh my God.
Limousine liberals are like, we're not tea parties, They're like, just let them eat cake. Give them whatever. Just so long as every liberal talks about how I want to do something about the homeless. I want to do something about all these problems. And let's let all these poor immigrants. Well, can they stay at your house?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you're.
No, I don't want them anywhere near me. Right. I got a
walls
fence
are
in a gated community. So it's
walls are terrible.
It's hypocrisy to the highest level. I'm an honest guy. I'm like, look, there's things I like, I don't, but I'm not going to be a hypocrite.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a solution, but the problem is right now they're just letting everyone do what they want
and that's
passing
terrible.
the buck down the line.
Yep, terrible.
And nothing gets solved. And so anyway, we're trying to bring it back around here to Bellingham. And our guest James, because
hey James, how are you doing?
I'm still alive.
This is I got to reel it back in here so we can get on so many rabbit trails.
Squirrel.
So you're working for the Downtown Project. The Downtown Project basically is this government funded thing that we pay tax dollars for a bunch of people to walk around and be nice.
Pretty much. That's what it is. But when you're used to doing different things in different states, it's all politics.
So, and
I'm sure things have changed.
Since you've been there. So why aren't you there anymore? What happened? We talked about this a little bit. Explain to the audience what happened. Why you're not there anymore.
Well, to me, being the only, how old was I? What? 40. I'm 42 now. The only 41-year-old white conservatives. I can't really say conservative, but middle-leaning, conservative, Republican, white male who has such an extensive background in this type of work, knowing what can and could happen. And you're working with anyone from 19 to 24 years old that are non-binary, lesbian, transgendered. It's not a good mix.
So you're the old white guy. You got your white privilege card on?
Not yet, but I'm
Jeffrey's
still waiting for it in the mail. But to me, it seemed like a little bit of discrimination because I was white. You got a white privilege? Oh, you got this from the Hodge twins.
Need to get that on camera.
That's
Jeffrey
awesome.
has his official white privilege card. There we go. Just so there's no mistake, we can just.
You should refill me.
By the way, is this rechargeable?
No, look at the date it expires.
I can't read that because I don't have my readers on. But okay, to those on the left, this is the idiocy that you've pushed us into. It's like I have no privilege. I work my ass off every freaking day. Nobody gives me a leg up because of my freaking color.
Yeah.
There's Michael Jordan, who's way richer than me. Oprah's way richer than me. I mean,
she's still asking us for help for Maui.
Don't start on that with me.
Anyway.
I've got a lot of opinions on that.
Yeah, we can go. That's a whole another rabbit trail. But back to the Downtown Project. So, but you tell me that you basically got fired.
I went into work and we did our thing, and then the supervisor, who was a 23-year-old transgender female wanting to be male, said, "You and I need to talk." I was like, "Okay, no problem." And they decided to ask, "Hey, do you have a Facebook group?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" She's like, "Well, the partnership, the city partnership or whatever, I don't know the exact name of the company that I worked for, but the Bellingham partnership said that this name matches a name that works for you guys who has a Facebook group called Bellingham's Gone to Shit." And she's like, "Do you have a Facebook group called Bellingham's Gone to Shit?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And they pretty much said, "Well, they said if it's you, we have to let you go because it's a conflict of interest."
Wow.
Interesting. So you got wait, hold on. That's discrimination.
But
That's freedom of speech.
Yeah, but because I kind of figured, because I could have got a lot of great footage, a lot of great pictures. But when I started it, I passed it kind of on to you and Jillian.
So do you think they were afraid of just how bad Bellingham is being exposed, and that this project is really feckless?
I think because of a lot of places where I went, I'm sure the average Joe goes to, But as many times as I've gone to these places, I could have snapped a picture. I could have took a video. I could have posted it on the group. I think they were afraid of that.
But you didn't.
No.
Oh, that's some integrity. I mean, what was the policy for that?
We were not allowed to take pictures or videos because it was an invasion of privacy.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm fine with that.
Coming from my background, I ask questions. So you want me to do this, but what happens if you call the cops? So if a guy comes at me with a knife, you expect me to say, hold on 1 minute, let me call the police before I call the cops? Don't stab me yet. I got to bring out my cute little cell phone that you guys gave me. I said, no.
You can't defend yourself. You can't take a picture. Yeah, you have to kind of just let things develop, and whatever the cards may fall happens for $18 an hour.
If our life is in danger, we call the cops. But tell me this. How long is it going to take you to pull your cell phone out of your little phone holder, dial 911, tell them what's going on before I stab you in the face?
Yeah.
When I could literally push a button and say, hey, I'm on the corner of Railroad and Magnolia. I need somebody here to call the cops right now before I get stabbed in the face.
But you couldn't have radios.
No.
So and this
is always asked questions because that's what I was taught to do. Ask questions.
Is this project...
But it always contradicted what they wanted to happen.
Is this project still going?
Honestly, I don't. He would. I flat out refuse to go downtown.
I have no idea. I have to look into this because this seems like the absolute biggest waste of money I've ever heard of.
To me,
oh, really? We're going to compare this to biggest ever?
Well, maybe the biggest.
I saw some good out of it. I was walking downtown one day, and a guy approaches me and taps me on the shoulder, which is a big no-no. Being on the streets, you're automatically on edge.
Right. Yeah.
The wife's noticed that when I'm out downtown, my mind is just going, and I'm constantly just monitoring my surroundings. But this guy taps me on the shoulder. He's like, I need help. And I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? He's like, I want to get into rehab.
Oh.
So that kind of made me feel good. Like, finally somebody's approaching me for help. And I'm not just wasting my breath and my energy walking 15 miles around town.
So
every day.
What did you do? What did you do?
I didn't know how to approach that. So I called the supervisor because this was like my first, second, third week.
This is the transgender, mentally confused person.
Exactly.
Who's running this entire project.
Yes. Who's 21 years old.
21 years old, no life experience, and can't figure out if they want to be a woman or a man.
Yeah. Who's literally a woman.
And they're running public relations with mentally ill people.
Yes.
Which I'm going to get a lot of hate mail for that, but I'm sorry, I don't hate anyone, but mental illness is mental illness. If you can't figure out if you're a man or a woman, I mean, you shouldn't be running a project that has to deal with other mentally ill people. But whatever happened to getting actual people who are stable to try and figure things? Oh, we don't want that because they hate. It's all about hate. I'm a hater. I don't hate anything. What I hate is illogic and uncommon sense.
Yeah,
and lack of critical thinking. And I'm sorry, it doesn't sound to me like this is the biggest, most successful use of taxpayer money. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I'm sure there's good that comes from it. If there is, I only saw it once.
How so?
And that was when the guy approached me and said he needed help.
But that could happen with anyone. Yeah. It could be anyone on the street and say, hey, man, I don't know you, but I really need some help. Is there any way you can help me? I mean, I get having a representative out there, but I think it should be a volunteer position. I mean, not saying you, granted, you were getting paid, but that should be a volunteer thing,
You couldn't pay me enough to do it anymore.
Oh, it sounds horrible.
I enjoyed it.
Really?
But Because I met a lot of people that I've seen and knew from the past. So I've came in contact with those people.
So if you could change anything in the project, and if you could make it better, what kinds of things do you think you would do to make this?
Honestly, have a means to defend yourself and have better communication.
Communication, what's that?
You mean like app radios and dispatch and stuff like that? Yeah.
Because like I said, we're walking around with cell phones. Something that might take you 30 seconds to dial will take you 1 second to push a button, and then have your colleagues call it in and say, hey, this guy's getting stabbed in the face on this street. It's weird.
How many people do you think they have working in this project? How many employees do you know? Or at least when you were there?
It was only one shift. I think from 8 in the morning to 5, it was us. And then I think around 7 to whatever time RSU stepped in.
Which is another security.
I think it's a security out.
Yeah, I'm familiar with RSU. Yeah. Which again, as far as I know, they're unarmed too. Mm-hmm. And it's, I actually know somebody involved in that. I'll have to, it'd be interesting to interview them and see how it's going. Well, I mean, look, deterrents are deterrents. We have our famous Jimmy Kitchens on the page, and you look at what he's doing. The Batman. And Jimmy, I'm going to get him on here and interview him sometime. His story, he's had his tools stolen several times and had a lot of theft happen to him, and he's just got to the point where he was like, I'm just done. I've had enough. I'm tired of people stealing, getting away with it. I'm going to do something. And I think as we have the right as functioning members of society to be good Samaritans and step in and to not tolerate this stuff.